I opened the spread manually and I collected some premium. So as you can see from the image that I'm putting right here, the maximum return that I can have on this is 5.3%. So imagine making 5.3% in a single day. Bitcoin is surprising all of us. And of course, as we mentioned before, we were waiting to see if this was just a dead cat bounce or if this was the beginning of something else. I talked about the indicators that I used before. It is the last 2-3 videos we've covered all the indicators that I used to get to the point where I believe that we now should see a little bit of a rally in price for Bitcoin. We don't know how long. If we look at the global liquidity, it is currently increasing by a lot. So maybe we should start seeing that rally that we mentioned maybe a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, where we said that global liquidity usually shows the pattern that Bitcoin follows almost to the dot, and it is going up. So we should see Bitcoin rally again. We don't know until when. We don't know if there's other macro indicators like tariffs. Still have 70, 80 days left for the tariffs to go live again. So there's a lot of uncertainty, but so far Bitcoin has been showing a lot of strength. So let's take a look at the prices and talk about it in today's video. Folks, Bitcoin at $96,800, Ethereum at $1,833, XRP stuck at the 220 to 21. Every time I look at CoinMarketCap, it is at 220 to 21. When I'm not looking, it goes up and down, but when I'm looking, is specifically at 221. BNB at 598 and Solana at 150. So overall, good for us. They haven't been going down a lot and they haven't been going up a lot, but the good part is that we are holding steady on our assets. Bitcoin is making us dream again that we could see very, very soon the $100,000 again. And looking at liquidations, we can actually see that Bitcoin was liquidating a lot of these assets, especially a lot of short traders. So short traders lost $62 million just by shorting Bitcoin. Of course, overall, we had $162 million liquidated, which is pocket change compared to days where we saw billions of dollars, 1.4, $1.8 billion liquidated in a single day. And 56% of all these positions that were liquidated, not only Bitcoin, were shorts. So there's a lot of longs being liquidated, for example, on Solana, on Sui, on XRP, and many others. But BTC and Ethereum, they were liquidating a lot of shorts. If we look right here, we can actually see that we've been bouncing between these range that has been present since May 1st. So it has been bouncing up and down here. And now we're looking towards the 97,800. This could generate a little bit of a push, maybe touching or getting close to touch the 99,000. But unless we touch this right here with some volume, we're not going to see the 99,000, but it is still a possibility. If we switch to Ethereum, well, Ethereum has more downside force than it has upside. We can see that we touched the 1845 right here for a brief period of time, and we liquidated these guys. We went back very, very fast, and now we're sideways again. Most likely, we're going to be looking at the 1810 to liquidate these long positions. And switching to Solana, we see that Solana is more bullish than bearish. And we can confirm all of this by looking at the charts. Bitcoin on the 4-hour charts, it started expanding the Bollinger, which is good. And now it went even outside of the Bollinger, which usually brings a correction, which it did. Now it is again sideways for a bit. So now we should be waiting for more volume and a confirmation that we're going to see more upside on the RSI. On the daily, it looks steady. You know, on the daily, we are smack at the 70. We still have a lot to go right here. And we could be seeing things like this, maybe 83, maybe 84 on the RSI. This goes back to November. So we need to see if this momentum will be strong, will be keeping strong. We can always rely on the 9 moving average right here, which could be around the $95,000, $96,000 for Bitcoin to rest on or to bounce on and look for, again, the $100,000. On Ethereum sideways. It doesn't matter that the Bollinger looks like it is opening or closing, but in the 4 hours, it is just sideways. It is between that 1840 and the 1750 range. It has been stuck right here. So unless we see 1870, 1880, I don't think it's going to be going out of this range anytime soon. But now we have a confirmation that 3 times now we have been bouncing and holding on the moving average, the 200 moving average on the 4-hour charts. On the daily, this moving average is above us, but still so far away that for us to reach that, we'll be looking above $2,000 for Ethereum, which again, seeing Ethereum back above $2,000 would be great, but I don't know if it has that in it to go that high. Still, we have a lot of room on the RSI, and if volume presents itself, then maybe we could start looking for the $2,000. Now, switching to Solana, which has been doing very, very good, currently now at 151. So it went up more than $1 while we were talking. Solana on the 4-hour charts, it is looking bullish. We are on the upper part of the Bollinger. We look positive for it to go up. We're also on the upper part of the RSI right here, looking bullish. If we go to the daily, we can see that we could be looking at the top of the Bollinger just because right now it is exactly where the 200 moving average is. So 160 could be our target, which will hold us if we get there. So if we see 160, we will be waiting there until Bitcoin and everything else has some momentum to carry Solana above that. But 160 is most likely, or that 160 range, not necessarily 160 smack in the middle, but close to the 160, we should see a lot of resistance, mainly because of these averages and the top of the Bollinger, which is something that will hold us for sure. But nonetheless, Solana has that room to move, which will be around 5 to 6%. So 5 to 6% is very, very good. And that gave me an idea. But before I show you the idea that I had, I'm going to share with you that we are on May 2nd and we already made 1% with the copy trading. So the copy trading has done fantastic. And we also went above the $2 million in assets under management. So if you are one of the few that got in later on, thank you for joining. Thank you for depositing your money here with the topics. And the past few days have been fantastic. April was the best performing month since December, and May has started very, very strong. So going back to the idea that I had, I got in a spread. I opened the spread manually and I collected some premium. So as you can see from the image that I'm putting right here, the maximum return that I can have on this is 5.3%. So imagine making 5.3% in a single day, because this is a 0DT strategy. So I sold a put and I bought a put. I created the spread and I did it just with small capital to try again with spreads here. Now we have even better pricing because we are quoting these spreads on Solana network, which will make things much cheaper and faster for everyone. And honestly, we're seeing proof right here because most likely we're going to be making 5.3%, which if you look at the credit in dollars is very little, $3. But if you look at it at percentage, if I had gone with $1,000, $2,000, that would have been very, very huge for me. And because it is a credit spread and I chose a very good spread, guess what? From the amount of money that I deposited and the collateral, for example, I put in $61 in collateral. So that is how much it is locked right here. My maximum loss in US dollars is around $8.76. So out of the $62 that I spent, not necessarily spent because it is locked up, but that I used right here, that I moved, worst case scenario, only $8.76 is the money that I am risking. So this is a very good risk reward ratio, and 5.3%, if you're able to keep that, not even daily, but 3 times a week, and you project that for the whole year, you're going to be making a huge load of money. So again, I'm going to start playing more with spreads right here on the topics and share with you my journey. Once I get one of those leaps out and I close these leaps, I would have more capital to move and to share right here with you guys. So this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed and you have a fantastic weekend. If you got all the way to the end of the video, comment down below. Let me know what prices we should be seeing for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana by the end of next week. And if you're taking part in any of this action, in the meantime, I hope you have a safe weekend and I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.